What's the research telling us, Keith, about what's attracting today's man, of whatever age, to join Freemasonry? What do they tend to be looking for? Are they really looking for the same sorts of things that our existing members are? Sort of fun and fellowship before form and ritual ceremonials?
I believe there's actually on the webpage the Brandhook report is available for all the members to look at. And I think, again, that's a step forward, is that we've actually got some expert advice which is available for all the members to hear and look at. My understanding from the reports that I've read is that certainly what we are hoping to do is be able to attract the cohorts of the certain age groups with a certain different message. But the whole package is the same for everybody, so long as they feel as though they're getting that in one place. I think we've sometimes overcomplicate things to think that you've got to be, very strategic in your thinking when it comes to the format of a lodge meeting. But in truth, so long as what we've done is encourage men to come along, feel that they're being supported by other men in an environment which is non-judgmental but is encouraging and is hopefully going to develop the best out of them, and in a friendly environment where they feel that they can bring their friends along to and be enlivened by the experience. That's the real purpose of it. Now, there are certain key elements within each age group from the study that we've got to make sure that those messages are properly developed, so that when a young man comes into a lodge, he does believe that what he's going to do is learn some skills which are going to set him up better for life, whether that's public speaking or being able to conduct a meeting properly, or in fact it might be just even down to improving his standard of dress and encouraging him to feel as though he's got a bit more self-respect about himself.
Well, I've been encouraged to improve my standard of dress, Keith. No pink trousers on this afternoon.
Well, I think we all commented upon that, Richard. But I think it's also the case that there are a number of men who leave work in their mid-50s or 60s, and often the connections that they've had at work have been very important to them.
Yep.
And it's very difficult for them to replace that in necessarily the same environment in a lodge, but there's certainly opportunities for them to actually pass on some life skills. I've certainly found it very helpful in many cases to be able to talk to somebody about challenges in my working life or family life sometimes, and just be able to talk to somebody who I know has gone through the same experience in all probability, but I know that I can rely upon him to keep what I'm saying to himself. There's no gossip in the lodge. I've certainly not found anything like that. But I think as I've sort of matured and I'm looking at younger men and I'm encouraging them to join the lodge, I think what they're able to gauge from me is a sense that I'm happy to pass on my experience. It's up to them whether they take the advice, but at least I'm happy to offer it in a non-judgmental fashion. I think for many men who don't necessarily have the same network of peers that they used to have, or they maybe feel as though as soon as they ask their boss something, the boss is going to be critical of them because they might think, well, you shouldn't be asking me this, or they might feel they're going to expose their ignorance, whereas they can do that to somebody in the lodge environment and really gain as a result. And I think in the more senior members can also similarly explain to a younger man what they're benefiting from that discussion as well.
So you found in your lodge experience, as have a number of individuals, the sort of brotherly love that we often talk about, but perhaps don't really understand because we tend not to talk about issues like brotherly love, do we?
Yeah, I think it's maybe the phrasing needs to be reconsidered. I certainly believe that brotherly love is a fundamental plank of what Freemasonry stands for, and I certainly believe, as you do, that really is part of the glue that binds us together.
Absolutely.
But I think people get a little bit confused when they talk about brotherly love as to whether this is something which they're not quite sure how to explain it. So to me it's togetherness or support, but we maybe have to look at some of the phrasing that we've got, brotherly love, relief and truth. I can't remember exactly, but one of the other feedbacks from the members was about changing that to transparency for truth, changing truth to transparency, and I think that's a factor. And brotherly love, I think, was to do with care. So I think it's about caring for one another. So we may have to look at those three words, which are certainly very important words, and describe what we are aiming to do as Freemasons. But I think sometimes our language is possibly a little bit 19th century or 18th or earlier, and it needs to be updated in order for people to be able to talk about it comfortably. Because if you went to your RSL or the cinema and you're talking to somebody in the queue, and they said, well, what's Freemasonry? And you said, well, it's about brotherly love, relief, and truth. They would probably quiz you and say, what does that mean? And I think that's maybe a point that has come through from the feedback from membership as well, is that what they're looking for is maybe a simplification of some of the phrases that we've used to help them get over the hump in some ways of being able to talk to other prospective or potential members, someone who they think would be a very fine Freemason, largely because they consider them to be a very good man to start with.